Welcome to Too Many Podcasts.
Welcome back, guys.
We are back. We are back with our guest, Kevin.
Welcome,
Want to
Kevin.
introduce yourself?
Kevin Sokolowski from Rhode Island, realtor.
Yusuf, of course, Matt.
Matt. So, Kevin, first and foremost, nice to meet you.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being on the podcast.
I've been waiting for someone to ask me to be on a podcast for a while.
This is actually a really nice setup too. So taken by we have another good setup too, but not like this. So I come in and I see the TV with everything. I'm like, you guys do that?
Yeah.
It's crazy, nuts. So tell us how you got involved in real estate.
I really like sales. So I was actually in the service industry for the last 13 years prior to this, and I just wanted to do more.
Mm-hmm.
I just hated school. I wasn't a college person or even just a school person, right?
Yeah,
and so sales just made sense to me. Because I'm not I'm a personal person where I like talking to people, and there's no cap. So I looked into sales, and just kind of I think Grant Cardone was the first person that got me real estate, and then just went from there. Just kind of did my research and just decided to go for it. And it's funny because one of my best friends, when I told him hey, I want to go and become a realtor, and he's just you need to give up on the pipe dreams. And I'm just the pipe dreams, why is being a realtor a pipe dream? You know what I mean?
Heard that word before.
Right. So I was kind of pissed off when I heard that. So it probably helped me that he said that. But I made him eat those words for sure.
Yeah.
Good for you,
so
man.
it was great.
I mean, you just do the less of the talking, you do more of the action.
Yeah.
That's all. Because you're gonna get people no matter what to hate on you, even if you're doing a good thing or a bad thing, you're still gonna get that energy from others around you.
And that's what I'm struggling with I wouldn't say struggling, but it's you can't have it, both ways, the love and no hate, right? There's always those negative comments no matter what. It just comes with it, and so it's still it still gets irritable when you hear, when you read those comments or someone, bust your balls. Because, in real estate, as a realtor, you got to put yourself out there in social media like no other profession, at least in my opinion, just what other profession are you starting off where you just gotta basically show your career from the start, hey, you want to buy a house through me, it's really you put yourself out there hard.
Yeah. So I have 3 questions in one. So you don't have answer one at a time.
I'll answer the third one first.
So how long have you been doing this? How has your journey been, and what are the biggest challenges?
So I started in August of 2020.
Okay, so pretty recently.
Yeah, pretty recently.
Nice,
I
nice,
am
nice.
the #1 realtor for my company in the state, Century 21 Northeast.
Nice.
So that's the first one. I'm sorry, there was the two other.
So how's your journey been?
It's been great, man.
Yeah.
It's been a grind. It's been a hustle. But I mean, I've done very well for my first 2 years. It's been great.
That's nice.
I love it. I really do. It's not everyone likes the idea of being a realtor until you realize what you got to do as a realtor. It's you hear flexible hours, but if you're producing, you really don't have any flexibility. You are working every day nonstop.
I figured,
but I like it. I like staying busy. So it's been good. And I guess the biggest challenge is in the beginning is getting those clients to trust you. Because people think, friends and family will work with you once you first get your license, but realistically, they don't want to work with you because they see that you're brand new. It's
And first, how many family members you're gonna get who's gonna buy a house?
Right,
how many
exactly. So that prospecting of finding clients is buyers or sellers is extremely difficult, very difficult, and I'm doing pretty well at it. My there's a Zillow page for sale by owners, and that's really what set my career off.
Nice.
Don Martone, my managing broker, he showed me for sale by owners, and that's basically just someone on Zillow trying to sell their house by themselves with no realtor. So that's the fastest opportunity to get a seller. So cold calling them, every single day when I first started, them telling you to fuck off every single week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like you're a
literally,
telemarketer or something, yeah.
like thousands of calls.
Wow.
You know, thousands. And, you know, I converted probably 10 in my career so far. And, you know, it might not sound great from 1,000 to 10, but like,
no, that's still
it's still like, it's great. You know what I mean?
money
Yeah,
with
yeah,
10,
no,
yeah,
exactly.
of course.
So like, so that really, and then, you know, once I hit that strive, it kind of took off from there where, you know, cause like when you get a listing, you know, there's so many opportunities to market the property. Like, hey, just got it listed, under contract, open house, sold. Like, there's so many areas of opportunities to market the property, especially on social media. And then when people see, like, if you look at my Instagram, my story is just always active with something real estate.
Yeah. I see that. Yeah,
it's always active.
I followed you and I because I know we're gonna do this, so I kept watching your stories.
Yeah, it's just literally, you have to be.
You
have to be.
I mean, when you were saying about the 1,000 calls, you did 10 of them, right? 10.
Yeah. Like, I
so
converted
imagine
10.
if you didn't do 1,000, how much you would have got?
Right. Well, no, it's like those 10 that I called, like, you know, I probably called them like 10 to 15 times just to
stay on top and keep up.
If the money is in the follow up, you know what I mean? If you're not, it's like a less than a 1% chance of converting the first calls. And the first calls that I did convert were nightmare transactions. You know, nightmare. Yeah. So, but it's good. I've done a lot of transactions where I got the experience now. So now it's just like, because it's not a matter of if something goes wrong in the real estate transaction, it's just a matter of when. But, you know, when you have a decent amount of transactions, you just gain experience and you can figure out solutions. You know, that's really what the realtor's for.
Yeah, of course. You need that follow up to keep the value in it. Because if you just call and then just like kind of throw them to the wolves, they're like, well, what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? Plus, when you talked about the friends and family thing when you first get into it, I agree with you on that because it's not like you're selling a box of chocolates and it's $1, you know, and it's easy to sell. It's like you're selling 6-figure houses and this, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like anything that just anybody should get up and buy. But when it comes to, I noticed you brought up like generating like leads and stuff like social media. For the people and the other people that want to get involved in real estate or people that are already real estate agents, advisors, consultants, and whatnot, what is your best advice to generate leads?
Finding the right audience for you. Like, there's an agent in this office that invited me to like it's basically a bazaar. I don't know. It's like some type of event that she was throwing at Cranston East High School. She does every year, and she asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. She's like, "Hey, you want to come and, you know, be the realtor there?" And I was just like, "Yeah, sure. Like, I'd love to do that." And like, you know, the more I thought about it, it's just like, you know, Cranston East High School. I'm like, I look like a high school dropout with these tattoos. I don't have kids. You know what I mean? I didn't even go to Cranston East. So like, I couldn't really relate to anyone there. You know what I mean? I could get a lot of, you know, I could meet a lot of people, but connecting with them would be, to me, it just wasn't the right thing to do. So I was like, I just opted out and said, hey, all yours. I just, you know, I'm all set with that. I'm just not going to convert. And it's having that self-awareness of like, you know, what would work. So like, it's called like a sphere of influence. You know what I mean? Like, I've been working in the restaurant industry for 13 years. So like, that's an audience I can relate to. So like, I converted restaurant people, people at my gym. Yeah, I go to, like, I converted people at my gym. Like, just knowing what makes sense, you know. Like if you don't have like a personality, like you ever take a disc test personality? Like determines like your personality. It's like there's dominance, steadiness, awareness. Have you ever taken?
Yeah, I mean, I heard of it.
Yeah, so like, you know, like I'm dominant, influence, like DEI, and like if you don't have that dominance, like personality, like cold calling probably isn't for you. You know what I mean? Like,
freeze up. And
right.
So like, you're like, okay, thanks.
But you can still be successful by not cold calling. There's some people that are, you know, way more successful than me that
just
are
different approaches.
Exactly, knowing what the approaches make sense.
It's like finding that special, like,
literally writing it down though. You know what I mean? It's just called a sphere of influence. Just writing it down. Like, well, actually, my company taught me it. It was it's called a spider web, a spider legs rather. Whereas you literally just draw a spider body, and the legs are your resources of business. So like, what can you get where? So like, mine was the restaurant industry, gym, for sale by owners, lead generation that the company provides, social media, and just really targeting those people.
I mean, the social media game changed everything for everybody. Like how advertising, like going to houses, going to selling things.
Yeah, I can't door knock. I don't like door knocking. So there's people that like door knock, and I just like, because the way I look at it is like, I don't want to like, when someone knocks on your door,
it's a turn off. It's a
private property.
It's a turn off for me.
Right.
Versus a phone call or social media message, or if you're at an event, it's like they're coming to you. When you're going to them at their personal comfort space, like private. It's
and
like,
you don't know, he's like at home. He could be doing something important, and like you distracting him. He's like, I don't want you.
Hey, who's this guy? No, I don't want you to sell my house, dude. Get the hell out of here.
I mean, how do you guys feel when someone just cold knocks on your door?
Right.
I'm like, whatever you're selling, I'm not buying.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not even
automatically. You know, it could be not selling nothing. Right. Automatically, your mind was like, yo, like.
They could be like, I'm gonna give you $1 million. Like before they even tell you, like, get out of here. Like,
literally. So, like,
the social media game did change a lot for a lot of people.
Like social, like, and that's the thing. Like they're staying active on social media. Like I don't like want to post every day, but I will because I just need to be active. Like,
be consistent.
My whole goal is to be. Like, I want to be annoying with real estate.
Yeah.
I want to annoy you with real estate because when you're just out and about and you think of real estate, I just want you to think of me.
You know what
I mean? So I just nonstop posting. Just, that's it. If you think, because I was, like, afraid at first. Like, I don't want to annoy people, with all this real estate stuff. Then I'm like...
Can't have that mentality.
Yeah, no, you can't. And then it's like, you know what? Just unfollow me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just unfollow me if you don't like it. That's fine. That's more than okay.
That's crazy.
I mean, I respect the grind, bro. The grind is real.
Dude, I appreciate it. No, it really is a hustle. But that's what I love about it. You know what I mean? Like, waking up and, like, literally just not knowing when your next payday is, it's just like it's a different feeling. Like, right now I got about 6 deals pending for October, and then the last ones are for November. So, like, right now in December, I got 0 coming. You know what I mean? So, like, I need to... Because it takes about 30 to 45 days minimum to... say, if I went under contract today for a client, it would take 30 to 45 days for it to actually close. Pending everything goes smoothly, which odds are they don't. Well, I don't want to say odds are they don't. That sounds awful. But just, like, for it to close 30 to 40... Because deals die, Not all of them, but there's a percentage that just die. It's just the way it is. But yeah, 30 to 45 days. So, like, right now, what is it, October? I don't know what day it is. Basically, yeah, right? So, like, mid-November is when I could close on a property if I went under contract today. So, we're almost at December. By the end of October, we'll basically be in the new year when I get paid.
Yeah. Time's flying.
So, it's just, like, it's a hustle and grind. That's why, like, I'm always on my phone. Like, even when I'm out with my friends... when I am, they see me on the phone nonstop. They get off your phone, but it's just like, no,
gotta work.
It's business. You pay me?
Being on your phone that minute could get you a deal and pay you. You know what I'm saying? It's
it really does come down to that.
Yeah, it's like it's what you put in. It's not gonna fall in your lap. Like people aren't just gonna come like, hey, I need a house. Like,
honestly, literally, like the follow up, follow up.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing sales, working at LA Fitness, selling gym memberships as a weekend general manager, and I remember people would come in, and we'd get them in, and then they'd be like, "Oh, I like the gym, this and that, but not right now." And then you'd follow up, you call them up like a month later, at the end of the month, called MAD, Membership Appreciation Day. We'd be like, "Hey, like we got all these balloons and this and that, and these deals like come in today." Like for 1 week pass, like, you know what I'm saying? So you'd be like, come and get a week pass membership. They're like, okay, free week at the gym. And then by the end of that, I'd be like, okay, so this is what you can do. You can take the week pass, or you can trade this in for a discounted membership.
That's great.
And I'm like, and you have 2 weeks to get your money back. So I'm like, best case scenario, you're locked in with this deal. I mean, worst case, I'm like, either or, it's a win-win situation. You're locked in with this deal. 2 weeks later, if you don't like it, get your money back. But at least you're locked in with this rate because you're going to want to go to the gym next month, and this isn't going to be there next month, and you're going to be hitting yourself in the head. So, and they always come in, and they always do it. But, like, the cold calls was tough. Yeah. We'd have to call 60 people a day. And some people, like, F off, this, that, like, talking shit. And it's like, then, it would get to a point where I'd have to sit there, I'd make phone numbers up. And I just tell people, you won a raffle. Come on in. And, like, no matter what, it was like, they didn't necessarily win, but I was giving them something free. Like, some people go in, they have to pay for a day pass, like money. And I'm giving these people away free passes for a week to the gym. So it's like a win-win situation where it's like, no matter what, I know so many people that would go to the gym and have to pay that day pass. They'd come in, and because they didn't have that little free guest pass slip for the week, they'd have to pay like $20 for the day, $10 for the day. But I was just handing them out just to get people in that door to close those deals, and it was good. It was good, but I couldn't do sales anymore. But I was thinking about getting into real estate, and it's funny that you're here and you're answering these questions because it's not just for the audience.
We're all learning.
It's crazy though. Yeah, it's awesome.
No, I mean, if you like sales and you like the grind, like that, like real estate changed my life, and I love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
That's awesome.
Now, since you just started recently, for the people who's getting in new, can you give like a little, like not shortcuts, but like little tricks that you fell in and like you wish you knew before you went in? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the biggest thing is not paying for leads. So like, like Zillow and other websites, they'll, for X amount each month, which is like, the bare minimum, like $500, they'll give you leads for, like I said, X amount. Like, don't pay for those, because it's just, all it is that lead is just, they literally clicked on a button online and they're shopping. So like the average conversion rate for a internet lead, I think, is like under 3%. So you're paying $500 a month for, a conversion rate of 3%. So it's just like, you're going to get more business taking that $500 and like going to a popular like bar or like, lunch spot once a week, and just you'll spend less money than the 500. But just being at the bar and talking to, I've met so many clients just like literally at a bar, or out to lunch, just making conversation, because it's just like, I can turn any conversation into real estate, so it just is a way of doing it, and that would be like the number one thing. Like, just don't pay for the leads. It's not worth it, especially right now too, with everything going on. It's a complicated market right now.
Yeah, it's so much easier being in front of somebody and talking to them. It's like you message somebody online, if they don't answer you, like whatever, like they don't have to get back to you. But if you're in someone's face and you're like, hey, what's up? Odds are 95% of the time they're going to have a conversation with you. And they're like, they're not going to be able to get away with it as easy as like online or messaging. Right. They can just run away from it. So like, and I noticed that too, like talking to anybody, like in-person contact, like a direct conversation, like eye-to-eye contact is way more intimate than a phone call or text. Like, you're people more locked in, they're more likely to pay attention and listen to what you have to say in person.
And think about when you are out and meeting people out, what is one of the questions you ask, or they ask you a lot of the times, is, what do you do? What do you do?
It always comes up.
Yeah, just I'm a realtor. And then leave it at that. And then like, more than half the time, man,
they want to continue.
You know what I mean? They want to continue to talk about the market, and then it's either their friend or family or them. Like they got something going on, buying or selling. It's pretty wild.
I mean, and like even like the message about you, like when you put yourself out there, like people know like you have that friendly vibe. Like you're not one of, like how you can like go buy something and like the person who's selling it to you has that weird vibe, a robot vibe. He does not friendly, doesn't go back and forth with you. When you're out there and like especially on social media, like you put yourself out there, people know that like you can approach me, we can talk, we're friends. Like it's pretty dope when you do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's a great point too, because like I genuinely like people. You know what I mean? Like I genuinely enjoy talking to people. It's like when I'm traveling, I like meeting new people. So like, how many times you hear someone say, "Oh, I hate people." Like if that's your mindset, like just don't ever
do sales
get into sales ever.
Because you have to talk to people.
Right. Yeah. Like it's interesting to me meeting people and just hearing their story, seeing where they're coming from. Like it's a cool thing.
Yeah. 100%. So what do you think the struggles are today, like in real estate or buying? Like I heard, like I was on the news today and it said like mortgage rates are like the highest they've been in like 15 years.
Yeah, so I mean, with mortgage rates, I mean, that's like, so with mortgage rates, it's definitely the highest it's gone up in a short amount of time, for sure. But I'm not a lender, so like I'm not the best person to speak to about the mortgage rates, but like historically, it's still like not like it's like at an average rate right now, but like a year ago they were like historically low, so it just jumped up so fast where but it's always gonna be up and down, up and down. So they went up fast, so we'll see what that brings. I think it just more intimidates the buyers right now than, than it's actually that bad.
So how's the market right now with like houses and selling houses? Like what are like the pros and cons of the market in general right now? Or like things you're finding out that are like either easy or beneficial or like difficult?
Well, the pros right now, I mean, a year ago, people were waiving appraisal or appraisal gaps, which is like insane, or like, not having their full rights to inspection. Mm-hmm. So like the competition is lower now. Like you get your full rights of a purchase, and that's huge, and it's not really, you're not being rushed. Like last summer, it's like when you would go into a house as a buyer, like you got to make a decision like within the hour if you want to put an offer or not, because highest and best offers are due tonight, Yeah. So like that's a pro for a buyer, and a pro for a seller is like it's still a seller's market right now, because the inventory is still low. Mm-hmm. So you're not getting 30,000 above asking, but you're still getting asking. Yeah. If you go on if you're getting asking price, your realtor that set that price may say, "Are you good with this price to go on the market?" So like you're still getting your goal, And
most people put the price a little higher too, so they can like. The other person trying to
there's strategies to each listing. Some price it lower to getting attention, to go into those competitions of higher biddings, but it's still like there's still opportunity in any market. It's just it depends on what it is you're looking for. But at the end of the day, no matter what market it is, someone's buying and someone's selling. And the reason I don't really pay attention too much to interest rates, the interest rate can be 2% or 20%. As a realtor, I gotta find someone willing to buy or sell. Yeah. So
no matter what the percentage.
is. So I just try not to. Like I stay informed about it, but it's just like one of those. Like I just trying to block it out.
You don't have to do nothing with it because no matter what, you still have to make
money.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty dope. Yeah. Do you get to a point where you're like, you wake up and you're like, yo, I don't want to do nothing today? And do you get these days?
Absolutely.
Is that from like working too much or?
It's just it's I think it's almost like going to the gym and you kind of just plateau sometimes where you just don't want to go, But I still do it, you still push yourself, but like for sure, man. I mean, I honestly probably had a little too much fun this summer. You know what I mean? I mean, if you think about it, like this summer, weather-wise, was probably the best summer.
It was
like
really nice.
Years. It's probably not the best that it didn't rain at all, but it was a blast. Yeah, so like I definitely, I don't want to say I slacked off, but I was not like I was out and about. So like that was fun, but
I mean, but like your name is out there, like so.
Yeah, I still,
you put in the work,
right? No, I still
deserve it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I put in the work, but I'm nowhere near where like I plan to.
Where you want,
like I want to be the number 1 realtor in Rhode Island, and I will stop at nothing to do that unless it's good weather in the summer. Apparently,
Well, it's good. It's good to have ambition like that. You gotta see and look ahead. Now, is like real estate something you always want to do? Like I know like your goal right now is like you want to be like the number 1 real estate like person in Rhode Island. Like is it like a thing you want to do someday where maybe you want to buy and flip homes? Like you want to like buy houses, rent them out? Like what is it like you see yourself doing 5 years from now or 10 years from now? Like your ultimate goal? You know
no. For sure, I will definitely be a realtor for a long time. Like nice. I can't see myself not being a realtor for. I mean, I just not even in the thought process, but I'll definitely. Dabble into investment properties. My goal actually in 2023 is to flip my house. So that's one of the goals.
Nice.
So I will, I want to see how that goes before, ideally in 5 years, I'm thinking, flipping a house once a quarter, so for a year. That's like my goal with that, but let's do one and see how it goes first. Right? So, but definitely rental properties too. It's just there's so much benefits to having a real estate portfolio, So it's just I'll be a realtor for a while, but if I'm not forever a realtor, like I'll always be in real estate, as an investor, coach, whatever. Like it's just gonna be like I said, it changed my life. It opened my eyes to everything, and just I don't plan on going anywhere without real estate.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what I want to do actually with real estate is I'm trying to save a shit ton of money, and within the next probably 2 to 3 years tops, to start getting like maybe 3 family homes and renting them out. What would your best advice be for someone like me or anybody else that's listening to that?
Okay, so what now? You're saving a bunch of money. What do you think the down payment percentage is?
What's it between? It's like around 5%, sometimes more.
Yeah, I mean, so you can go as low as 0 with some loans. Like you can do 0 down loan programs.
But the interest rate's crazy.
Right. Now there's also 3.5%, 5%. When you do 20%, the PMI, the mortgage interest is the mortgage insurance is that's gone. So that's where the benefit of putting 20% down is. The sweet spot for multifamilies, in my opinion, are 3 units. That's if I were to buy a multifamily, it'd be it'd be 3 units or more.
3 family, right?
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
But that depends too. I mean, there's still benefits to getting a 2 family, but that's just like and that's the thing too. Like, and there's so many different ways to look at real estate, where so many investors do things completely different. Like it's pretty wild. Like they just think differently. So there's no.
And it's still successful.
Right.
Too.
No, for sure. It's just ways. There's so many different ways. There's so many different avenues.
Your technique.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's pretty. I've met a lot of brilliant real estate minds in my short career so far.
That's awesome.
You were last week, I think, in Texas.
Yes.
Was there a vacation or a business?
No, so that was business. Brought the girl with me just to make a little little mini vacation out of it. We like to travel. Cool. But yeah, I was in Dallas, Texas for the REO 5-star conference, which is bank-owned properties, and that's kind of like the expected wave to come next. So when people go into foreclosure, when they don't stop paying their mortgage, their house defaults back to the bank, and then the bank tries to auction it off, and if they don't like the numbers they're getting in the auction, then they go to a realtor and list it on the MLS, which is like the listing service that we have for the state of Rhode Island. Okay. Each state has its own. Yeah. So I basically went out there to try to network with banks and asset managers. That's the ones that, they'll have like let's just say a Northeast portfolio of, foreclosed homes. X here, X here, X there. I'm just trying to find the ones like for Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
Nice.
So just trying to.
That's dope.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I mean, and it was fun too. Well, I wouldn't say fun because I went out there not knowing anyone. So traveling across the country, going into a networking event,
being thrown to the wolves pretty much.
Like not knowing a single person. What I mean? Like that sucked. But it's just
did you leave not knowing no person? Or?
No, so it was really cool, man. I sat down next to this lady. Well, this lady sat down next to me, and I'm not even kidding. Like we're talking, and not even just what do you do? Well, what do you do, right? So she was like she has her own private management services. Nice. And she has a fucking property in Cranston, Rhode Island that needs a realtor in December.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that really just made my trip. I'm like, you know what? That was awesome. That alone was worth it. So then she invited me to private parties and introduced me to people, and it just it was just like, damn, man, that was cool. And it got me it was very uncomfortable at first, and even actually it was uncomfortable the whole time because you just that was day one that I met her. I wasn't with her all 3 days. I met up with her every day, but there's times I'm just by myself, and again, just floating around, Kevin from Rhode Island. So it was cool. So it's been fun.
You fly often?
No, and that's another cool thing. So I went to Arizona in July for REO as well, and that trip right there was the first time I traveled in years, and it kind of gave me a new love for traveling. I wasn't really big on traveling until this year, and now I just want to keep doing it, So it's because you just have so many opportunities. It's just cool. I like going to restaurants. That's been I love the restaurants. Just going to different states. Just trying out new.
Yeah, I see that on your Instagram. With the food and all that.
No, yeah. I love restaurants, man. What's better than going out to eat with your friends and just having a drink and trying new food.
Yeah, you can also talk, like you said, put yourself out there for work.
Right.
You don't know. You can meet always that one person that if you weren't there for that moment, you would have never met that person.
Literally. Yeah. No, for sure. I have clients that I closed on deals with that I met randomly at restaurants. It's just.
It's pretty dope. Yeah, Matt. So you're gonna become a real estate?
Well, that's my thing. So
what's stopping you?
Nothing, honestly.
Right.
Absolutely nothing right now. Just right now, I'm like all of a sudden, like you can ask them, like all of a sudden I'm like so busy. I'm like I'm crazy. Like I do DoorDash, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the money, it's like there's like no cap. You could sit there and just sleep in your friggin' car and just keep making money,
Right.
like crazy money. So I'm like, fuck it. Like I'm just gonna do this, and like I'm not gonna spend money on clothes or shoes or this and that. I got my budget. I know what I spend every week. I know what I'm gonna save every week. I have a goal. I'm like sitting there in the shower doing the math on the shower window, like like okay, this is what I'm gonna save this year. This is what I save this year. This is what I'm gonna put down. So I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do, and like I'm so hungry for it that I wake up now and I'm like, damn, like I want to work so bad and do this, you know. And it's been in like my family, like my great grandfather, my dad's grandfather. He actually only had a 5th grade education. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, or it was a 5th or 8th grade education. He was growing up in like the 20s. You know what I mean? And what he did was he just built up his credit. All he did was he built up his credit, took a loan from the bank, bought a mill, right, and just started doing real estate and like buying mills, fixing them up, flipping them, making a shit ton of money. That's amazing. And he made so much money, and then he just did this and that, and it's like, damn, like maybe I get it from that side of the thing.
Right,
like,
no, for sure.
I want to do this. You know what I mean? But with the 5th or 8th, I'm 26.
Okay, perfect time.
So like with all that like shit going on in my family, like him doing it, and you know I'm building up my credit. I got a plan. I'm doing it. My main thing is acting. I'm an actor, so that's always gonna be first. But I know I'm not gonna be booking roles every day, or like sometimes
with that attitude.
Yeah,
you're right.
No, I'm saying no, I'm saying in general, on average, people will get like 2 roles a year, 3, 4, 5, maybe sometimes 6, but. It's not something you're like gonna be every single day. Like I gotta do this project, that project. There's like even like the big actors, they book shit like 2-3 times a year, and then you know they make a shit ton of money, so they don't have to sit there and like do other things. But then there's the actors that get like they're part of a TV show, and then when that season's done, it's like okay, well they can either manage their money or they can still be like, well I got all this free time, let me do something productive. Like I don't want to just like have. Like I want to broaden my horizon, so I'm like, like doing everything. So like when I'm acting, I'm like, okay, I'm using that money, and then when I retire or whatnot, even on the side, like I'm doing real estate. So I'll be like a jack of all trades. Right. Like I want to make money.
The coolest thing about real estate as a realtor, like you're essentially like running your own business, but like it costs like I want to say like $3,000 total to start. Like after all like the fees and the classes and the license tests, $3,000, and your cap there is no cap. So what other business can you start at a $3,000 startup cost?
Yeah, you make that money back off selling your first house anyway.
One deal. Yep. You know, obviously there's taxes and you gotta pay the broker and whatnot, but like like it's for $3,000. I mean, I've done pretty damn well for my first 2 years. With just $3,000.
Great investment. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you got nothing to lose, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't like it, you're doing what you want to do right now,
Yeah, I was talking to people too that are real estate agents and stuff, or just got into it, and they tell me how hard that fucking test is. Like some of them, like, yeah, I failed like a bunch of times. I'm like, damn, it's that hard. How is the real estate test, or was it like, is it hard for some, easy for others?
I passed the general the first time. I failed the law, but I had like the terrible mindset for some reason. I was just like, I didn't study the law at all, so I was just like, dude, it's law. Like, what's right and what's wrong? It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
That was terrible to think that way, But then I passed it the next time. But it's I don't know. I can't say it's that hard. You know what I mean? But then and that's another thing that I always got annoyed by too. When I would tell someone like, hey, I'm gonna be in real estate, or if you try to start anything, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to like dumb you down. Like, who the fuck you think?
Shit, it's hard? No, I'm good then. Never mind. I thought it was going to be easy, so it's just... I didn't know it was going to be hard.
If it was easy, everybody would have it. Everybody do it. Everybody millionaires, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean. It's a lot, because it's buying or selling a house is one of the most stressful things you can go to as a buyer or seller. But as a realtor, if you're fortunate enough to have, 6 to 10 deals pending. I mean, there's realtors in the state closing more than one a day. So, like, he has 30 people every month, going through the most stressful thing in life. They're all coming to him, It's like you're tackling all that stress and emotion.
It's like being a therapist.
Right. No, for real. It's you're a little bit of a jack of all trades. You know what I mean? It's just you're like the coordinator and the manager basically of the transaction, Like that's where we offer our value. Like, like an open house, showing you a house, like I can't force or sell someone to like this house, right? I can, make bullet points
good.
of what it brings. But at the end of the day, like my value is that like I'm a negotiator. I'm negotiating the best terms for you for your house, whether you're on the sell side or buy side, whatever client I'm representing. Like I'm looking for the best terms for them, and it shows in my stats. When I'm selling a house, I get about 5% higher than the list price, right? But on the buy side, right now it's at 2% higher, which it's 2% higher, but in this market, it's a seller's market, so it just shows you though on the sell side I'm getting 5% higher, and on the buy side I'm doing 2% higher. So you just you're negotiating those best terms for that client, and that's really where you're offering your value.
That's nuts. Mm-hmm. So I know you went to Texas. I always hear that it's cheaper to live in Texas.
So Texas was actually, it really was cheaper. It was the food, because I went out a lot, good places too. I don't know if you ever have octopus here?
I'm not a
calamari type?
No, like octopus, tentacle. No. So it was great. So you've had it, yeah. Okay, so that's awesome. So here, the octopus, the tentacles, the size of a finger for $20. In Texas, there was a whole octopus for $20, and it was
I'm moving to Texas.
Right? No, it was amazing. I loved it. It was so good, but the food was good. The one thing I didn't like about Texas was I felt the people weren't that friendly, and the customer service just sucked, dude.
Because you worked in the restaurant business, so
right.
How
so I'm goes. Very hypocritical, anyways. But it's just dude, the customer, they just didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? They did not care about your experience and all.
Yeah,
just
wow.
What can I get you?
Why is that? Why do you think is that?
I have no idea. I really don't. I think customer service is a dying art right now. Just no one cares. No one wants to work. I'm very big on customer service.
Yeah, me too. Here when I'm running the pizza place, it's all about customer service.
Dude, it's everything.
Yeah. Reputation to everything.
Right. Customer service is customer service and communication is the foundation.
Is it a busy place where you went? They're making so much money they don't even care.
I wouldn't say that, but because it was probably 90% of the restaurants I went to.
Wow.
The steakhouses. Well, actually, even one of the higher end steakhouses, the server, she was nice, but she was just I couldn't even.
Didn't want to be there.
It's the vibe.
I don't want to say
energy.
I just want to say
she's forced to be there.
You know what I mean? Just this jittery person who was kind of uncomfortable. Wow. You know what I mean? So
I can see the reviews now on these restaurants. Yeah, the server was a miserable fuck, but they had great octopus.
So you read mine, all right?
Yeah. That's crazy, but how's the real estate market over there? I heard the property too is wicked cheap. I see posts all the time on TikTok. I remember I'd be 2 a.m. I'm scrolling through TikTok and I see a house that looks like it costs $1.5 million over here is $400,000 over there.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea what the market's over there. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But Texas was cool. But Dallas. I didn't go to Houston. I went to Dallas. I would be okay with not going back to Dallas. It was nice to be there, but
give the other spot try.
Right, Arizona. It made me appreciate Arizona so much more. I didn't understand how great Arizona was because I didn't travel that much until I went to Texas. And I'm you know what, Arizona was awesome.
Yeah, you appreciate it.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So, but we'll see what the next spot is for traveling. It's exciting. Well, actually, I'm going to Madison Square Garden for the UFC 281.
Oh, nice.
So
wait, 281 is that? Don't tell me. Is that Oliveira versus Makhachev, or is that Adesanya versus Pereira?
Oh, you told me not to tell you.
Tell me.
Stylebender and
Pereira. That's gonna be crazy.
Dude, I can't wait. I hope Stylebender wins.
I don't listen. I don't know, man.
Pereira's
a beast.
That left hook, man.
Adesanya's been not to get too off topic. Hold on, we gotta talk about this. Adesanya's last fights have been going to decision. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but Pereira's just eating everybody up in this. And I remember I had a conversation with Pereira before he was in the UFC. He was on Glory Kickboxing.
Did you really?
Yeah, I swear to God, I had a conversation with him on Instagram. So what happened was I have been watching. There's this app called, I think it's called Peacock or something like that. Mm-hmm. That Glory on 24/7. I'm who is this kickboxer that's just messing everybody up?
He's knocked out Stylebender.
Yeah, beat him by decision the first time, knocked him out the second time. And then I'm like, damn, who is this guy? I messaged him on Instagram, and I'm having a full blown conversation. Mind you, he speaks Portuguese, so he's this. I didn't realize like how like not poor his English was, but like how he like English probably isn't a second language to him. This poor guy was probably Google translating everything I'm saying to like, and he held a full conversation with me. And then I'm like, I'm looking at highlights of I guess see Adesanya get knocked out. I'm like, wow, he got knocked out. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that guy. And I'm like, Alex, that was you? And he's like, yeah. And like, we're talking some shit about Adesanya, and he's like, he never learns. He must not like me that much. So we had a full conversation.
So you want him to win? Then,
I want him to win. I'm biased as shit, but plus like
I mean, if I would talk to him too, I would. If I had a full conversation.
Yeah, I'm biased. So like, but also the dude's an animal. Like he fought a number 4 guy in the world, and knocked him out in the first round.
He made it look so easy.
That's what I'm saying, and like I know like. Adesanya's a beast, but like, damn, I feel like if Adesanya's gonna lose to anybody, it's gonna be him. Like, you know what I mean?
I agree.
So either way, it's gonna be an interesting fight. Good for you.
I know. I can't wait, man. I'm pumped.
That's crazy.
I'm pumped. My first UFC event too. It's like I love the UFC. That's like,
I'm obsessed with the UFC too.
I'm like every single thing. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah, Makhachev versus Oliveira is going to be nuts too.
I think Oliveira is going to win the first round.
Because Makhachev hasn't fought anybody to that caliber yet, but he is a beast. I think it's going to be an interesting, both crazy grapplers. You know,
right? I mean, Oliveira most submissions in UFC history, and like look what he did to Gaethje though.
Yeah, that was insane. Plus he gets dropped. He gets up and then he drops you, and then he'll just submit you.
When's the last time you seen Gaethje get knocked down?
I don't know. I think Eddie Alvarez when
what was that? 3 years ago, maybe
even longer.
Right,
5 years ago.
And then Oliveira, he stung him fast in like the first 10 seconds of the fight. You know,
it was crazy.
That's wild, man.
That's nice. Now you know what we got to do now? We got to have him on for a UFC podcast. We can label this podcast Real Estate.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love UFC, man. I can talk about that all
night. Me too, bro. You can ask any of them. I never shut up about it, bro. I'm crazy. I got the game too for Xbox One where I was like UFC 4 or like I don't know if you play Xbox or anything that. But they got UFC 4 on Xbox, and like it's crazy. I've been playing all of them since 360 when I was like 12.
Okay, so
and, like, back then you could have like they don't have it now, but they used to. When you have your mic in, you could sit there and like talk shit to people as you're beating them up. Like, I like that shit. Where now you can't do it.
I'm surprised
I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't bring it back.
I got way too brutal.
Because now people just save it for the messages after. Like they'll be like, "I saw you taunt me and you got knocked out," and I'm just sitting there like crying to sleep. Like shit. I was going like 15-1. I was on a tear. But yeah, that's nuts that you're going there, man.
I know, man. I'm super pumped.
So, how's like back to real estate? So, like, how's the like now? Are you only like doing stuff in Rhode Island right now? Because someone told me, and I don't know if they're full of shit or like maybe I misheard. I heard like Mass and Rhode Island are like very similar.
Yeah,
like,
so they're reciprocal. So like you just basically pay a fee. So like I'm licensed in Massachusetts too, and I'm in the process of getting my Connecticut license as well. But it's just paying a fee. So like. 2 different markets though. I mean, like you get actually a lot more house in Rhode Island than Massachusetts. Massachusetts, like a $450 house in Rhode Island would probably be like $650 in Massachusetts.
Damn, so it's
yeah. Wow. And like in Massachusetts, it's like the contracts are put together by attorneys. In Rhode Island, it's not. No attorneys. Like I can put together a purchase and sales agreement in Rhode Island. I can't do that in Massachusetts.
Yeah, a lot more freedom over here then, huh?
Yeah, probably not for the best, right? You probably should have the lawyers put that together, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Damn.
I did not know that.
Yeah, every state is so different, man. You know, it's pretty wild how different some things are, you know? So, like, for example, in Rhode Island, there's something called a sales disclosure where the sellers need to disclose anything about the property they know. Like, it's a 6-page paper, like, ask about, like, the age, the integrity of the house, and you got to fill it out. That holds you liable. Like, obviously, if you don't know, you leave it blank. But, if you do know the information, you put it down. And that's mandatory in Rhode Island. Same with lead paint disclosure. Like, anything before 1970, used to be considered as lead paint. So you got to disclose whether you know that or not. And again, that's mandatory in Rhode Island. Neither of those are mandatory in Massachusetts.
Oh, nice. So I gotta ask, what's like the craziest experience you ever had with real estate? Like craziest story. It could be like nuts, like someone did something, or like some shit hit the fan. Like what's the first thing you think of when I say that? Because I don't know. Anytime we have like guests, I'm always like wondering what's the craziest shit they've done or like gone through like in their experience of like what they do.
That's a tough question. because there's some things that like I have like all my clients and whatnot. We have like confidentiality
like
agreements,
NDAs and stuff.
so I can't really talk about the transaction that conspired, but like I do every transaction there's just something, you know what I mean? I can't really give like exact details, but it's a wild experience, it's like if you can't handle stress, then you shouldn't get into real estate. Not you specifically, I'm just saying in general. If you don't have like stress management, it's just not gonna be good for you.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Quick thinking.
I noticed that, sales. Sales is definitely, I mean, like what I did, I mean, I remember I worked in solar, and that shit was crazy. Like, we had a kiosk.
Solar's going off right now.
I know, like, but we had a kiosk when it wasn't going off so much at Home Depot in North Attleboro, and it was like, damn, like, you had an iPad, and you had to go up to customers in the store, like, nonstop, and just, like, they'd be like, some of them would be like, oh, yeah, I'm looking for something in the store. And I'm like, oh, shit, they think you work there. It's like, I'm trying to talk to you about solar. And I'm like, I help them find the item in like 20 minutes. And then I'm like, can I talk to you about solar? They're like, no. And I'm like, shit, it's 20 minutes of my day gone. Like, find that shit yourself next time. If you go to Home Depot and you're no.
But yeah. Do you want to share a little bit of your early life? Like, what were you doing before real estate and, like...
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, like, before real estate, it was, dude, I was a mess, in my early 20s, just partying and drinking, just being a fuck-up, really, just kind of, not taking life seriously, and, I paid that price, definitely, for that, definitely some bad decisions, so, drugs and alcohol for sure. That was my early 20s. Like, your brother Ahmed, man, I tell him all the time, if he just keeps doing what he's doing, like, he's just like his success is just going to be superior, because at 21 this dude, 5 herb and doing real estate, man. Like, who the hell does that at 21? I was at Raves, Electric Zoo, and Ultra at 21. You know what I mean? Like, just 3 days in a row on a bender. Just like risking life. That's what I was doing at 21. So like, if he just keeps doing what he's doing, man, by the time he's my age at 31, I mean, his success is just gonna be amazing. I can't wait to see it.
What pushes you to get out of what were you like living? Like, what motivated you?
Just being in a dark place, man. When you get like wrapped up in drugs and alcohol, like it just you just get in like this funk. I used to weigh like 255 pounds.
Wow.
Just this absolute, like, you just feel like a piece of shit. And just in the back of my head, I was always just like, you can do more than this.
Like a bum, right?
Right. Yeah. You just always like, you can do more than this. You can do more than this. And then, still made bad, poor choices, but I think a breakup, like my last breakup was like that final, like, all right, like, I'm just getting my shit together, and just started tracking calories, going to the gym. Like, I wake up at 5 a.m. Every day, go to the gym, and that's like my routine. Like, I have to do that, and then go from there. So like, just like, I have a very, very addictive personality. Like, it's bad, but like, I turned it into a positive rather than using it into a negative, and that really changed my life. Yeah.
So if you could go back in time, you would change a couple things.
Oh God, man, I'm not one of those guys like, dude, I would do it all over the same way. No. It would be completely different. It definitely, it gave me that drive of who I am today, and I'm grateful for it. But no, I'd definitely go back and do it differently. Because I just got my license when I was 29. So, it's just from fucking 16 when I got my job to 29, just making poor decisions,
Do you think you have to go through that to get where you got right now? Or you didn't have to go through what you went through? Or you didn't just give a shit?
Well, that's a tough one, man, because, like, what I went through is the reason why, it took me so long to get here, but like, I definitely didn't have that drive, you know what I mean? But like, I saw this, I saw this video. I don't know if it's true or not, but like, I think it was, what's that guy's name? What the fuck's his name? Jordan, is it the guy that like,
Jordan Belfort?
Not Jordan Belfort, the philosophy guy. is it Jordan or Jeremy? I don't know. It's like damn, that's gonna bug me. Like this self-development guy where he's just like, when you get past a certain age, I think it's like 23 or 25, as an adult, you can't teach yourself anything unless it's through trauma. You know what I mean? So like, I went through a lot of trauma to get this drive and hustle in me.
Makes you appreciate it a lot more too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, but then at the same time, it's like, it was like, would I rather earn $10 million or just get $10 million? I'm getting 10, because no one really gives a shit how you get the 10, right?
If you have it,
right. So I would do it differently if I could, but that's not the circumstances. So,
I think everybody would have done their life differently if they could go back in time. Everybody has something to change.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. Yeah.
It's pretty dope. Well, yeah, it's been. We're glad to have you here.
Hell yeah, it's been awesome.
I learned. We usually just do these just to like people to learn, for us to learn. You can learn. It's
100%.
We love doing this.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, I truly, I really appreciate you guys having me.
Of course.
Appreciate you letting us come in here and doing it over here in the office.
No, for sure. It's not my office, so it's
it's not. Oh shit!
I have no idea where we are right now. No, I appreciate it anytime.
You guys are watching Too Many Podcasts.
Thank you guys for watching.
Stay tuned. Subscribe. That follow button. Take care, everybody.
And if you're looking to buy or sell property in Rhode Island or Massachusetts,
well, I'm gonna put all his links down in the bio. Check them out.
Absolutely.
Love you guys all. Thank you.
Nice.
Whoa, that was a nice one.
Oh man, those things. You know what I noticed when you take those off and you rub the side of your face, it feels so good. I don't know what it is, bro. Man, this is a nice setup though.